following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbb-radio.com.
Okay, this is your boy Stens. I'm trying something different this time. Actually, at my home studio that I made during COVID. I call it the Honeycomb Hideout or the bunker, the underground bunker. Either way, it's not the normal studio at Emerge, but my own personal studio. So we're going to just give this a test out. What this is going to be a shorter version of the longer videos that I make when I have a guest over or someone comes in into the studio and sits down in the guest chair, and we do a long format video show, I guess a video podcast. Now that everything is called a podcast, kind of makes it tough to find the difference between a actual podcast where you're just listening to something on audio, full audio on your headphones, or playing it off your phone, where there's no visuals, as opposed to a show that's like video segments where someone's sitting in a chair behind a desk, the old Johnny Carson, Jimmy Fallon, David Letterman looking type interviews, which some people enjoy those, and some people enjoy just a faster format where the podcaster or the author or whoever is speaking is doing just that. They're speaking to the audience or playing instruments or doing the old radio type broadcast. So I'm going to try to do a little blend of that with these shorter versions. I'm calling them brain droppings. That way I can just freely talk. It doesn't have to be strictly Niagara stuff, but it will be a child of Niagara stuff. So generally, just my general thoughts and things that are going on in life and in around the area, Western New York, Niagara Falls, starting from events and community things, going all the way to maybe some personal type stories, some fun stuff, just free expression, I guess, and something to listen to. Today with this first episode, what I wanted to do was kind of just figure this out, the recording aspects, and make sure that I'm doing everything right, but also give you a new faster version of the NiagaraStuff podcast. I generally, when I'm listening to podcasts, I'll go, some of them, they're a couple hours long, and you can pause it and catch back, whether you're at the gym on the treadmill or doing yard work or housework or whatever you're doing, you're at work listening, multitasking, of course. The longer versions, some people like those and some people like the fast ones. So I'll try to do these ones a little bit quicker. I'm not going to really go past 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. As a rule, I'll try to keep these a little more brief. We've had some great guests on the larger version of the podcast, the NiagaraStuff podcast. We had people that work for the city, for the state. We've had business owners. We've had just friends. I've had family. This is the 20th episode so far of NiagaraStuff, and this will be the first episode of NiagaraStuff Brain Droppings. The title Brain Droppings comes from, in my world, it comes from a George Carlin book that was put out, I want to say, in the 90s. It might have been his second to last book. I'm not quite sure, but it was one of the last books that he wrote, and I always love that title. So this is an homage to George Carlin, one of my favorite entertainers, comedians, authors, jokesters, Hollywood personalities. George Carlin was definitely awesome. So little homage to George Carlin, and an easy way to summarize everything that's going on in your brain and the little droppings you want to leave out there for other people to step in, I guess. So this is the NiagaraStuff podcast, Brain Droppings. I'm also going to try to get some advertisers for the podcast now that we're up to the 20th episode. We've gotten some good hits across the social media, mainly Facebook on the NiagaraStuff page. If you're not following, please do. As you hear probably a million times a week, please like and subscribe. it's a whole new world the way that things are falling in place with the audio versions and podcasts and just the internet with AI, and it's a whole new way to find your entertainment and enjoy your entertainment. If there's something that you like, let's just say cowboy westerns. I don't care at all about cowboy westerns. I mean I don't not like them. I know that doesn't make sense, but double negative there. Um, I don't dislike them. I'm not really too heavy in that, so that's just an example that I'm pulling out of my ass is country, or I'm sorry, Western movies. If you're into something like that, like the old gunslinger type shows on TV, what would that be, like Bonanza and The Rifleman and things like that? Uh, I know what you're thinking, where you're going with this, but specific likes and tastes, you can find anything now. Like I said, if you're into old cowboy movies, old spaghetti westerns, you don't have to wait for them to pop up on TV at their time. You can go hunt them down now with streaming, and you could watch something all weekend if you wanted to. You could watch cowboy western movies and shows for a week because they're at your fingertips. So that's what's a lot different. When a show was on when I was younger, you had to wait till 8 o'clock Tuesday night for the A Team or whatever that you liked, and you had to wait a week till it came on. Now you can get the whole series dumped on you on Netflix or Apple TV or Prime Video. You can have the whole show, and you could stay up all night and watch 7 episodes and consume it that way. So it's pretty crazy that whatever your specific likes are, you can find it, from soccer to fixing someone's transmission. I mean, it's just crazy that everything's at your fingertips now. So I'm just trying to adapt with it. I like to express myself, usually in writing. I'm more of a behind the scenes guy, so sitting in front of a camera. If you watch the first few episodes of the NiagaraStuff podcast, you'll see that I was kind of shitting my pants. I'm not used to cameras in front of me. I can't stand my own voice. I mean, even listening to it right now in the headphones as I talk, I'm thinking like, is that what I sound like to other people? Um, so there's that level of having to get past your insecurities and just kind of make it exist. That was the big thing for me is putting things off and saying tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Procrastinate. I'm trying not to do that, and one of the ways is I followed somebody's advice that they said, just create it. Don't try to be a perfectionist. Just make something exist, and then go back and tweak it until till it's perfect in your eyes. That's one of my, I guess, a weakness of mine is I'm too conscious about what other people think, of course, uh, and I don't like putting anything out that I'm not fully satisfied with. So I just hold back and procrastinate and say I'll do it tomorrow. I'll figure this out later. I mean, even this equipment that I'm messing with right now to put this podcast out it's taken me years. Actually, I started building this studio in my basement during COVID, and now we're how many years out? 4 years out of it, and I'm just using it now. I'll admit it. I've dusted it off, and everything's brand new. I bought some new equipment, and it just took this long to finally sit my ass down in a chair and press record. So, doing the podcast at Emerge has been great. The actual podcast, the video podcast, because I got to know the ropes. I got to learn some things from other content creators and podcasters in the building. Some older than me, some younger than me, and anyone can do it. So if you're interested, Emerge is a great place to get started. It definitely helped me get my ass in gear to the point that I finally hit record on this, and now that's what you're listening to. So these brain droppings, little segments, I'm going to try to do them. Depending on how easy this one turns out, I could probably do 1 or 2 a week, maybe. I don't know, and then have the full episodes, the video episodes, once a month, the in studio with guests. I'm trying to do small business owners, like local restaurant owners or local crafters or people that are busting their ass just to try to make ends meet and get things going and follow their dreams and chase down the entrepreneur mentality that they have to perfect it and get skillful in it. I like to have them on and explain what they do, how they started their restaurant or their business, and let them explain it themselves. Also, I like to use a lot of photos in the posts and in the background so that you can actually see what they're talking about. So the longer versions are just that. They're longer and pretty much filled in pretty thick with kind of explaining the people's background and how they started, where these brain dropping episodes are going to just be, I'm going to jot stuff down that I want to talk about, maybe things to bring attention to, maybe announcements and coming events, things that are a little more up to date, where it's not a week later or you're seeing it a month later and the thing's passed, something you can listen to right away, because it's going to be like in bite-sized chunks. Not try to eat the whole elephant in one sitting, but take little chunks, and that's what the brain droppings will be. So I'm looking forward to it. Also, with that being said, there will be a video component of it because it is on YouTube. I don't want to keep it just audio, but the visual component is going to be, maybe I'll just set the camera up on Pine Avenue on a busy intersection and let that play. So it's like you're standing there. Or maybe I'll go to Old Fall Street and just let the camera catch what's going on for 20, 30 minutes. So that if you do want to look up and look at the screen, or look down at the screen if you're on your phone, then you can. But otherwise, if you're taking a walk or walking the dog or painting in the living room, you don't have to watch the segments. You can just listen. But if you do happen to enjoy also some visual elements, I'll be doing that. What I'm going to do in the background of this one will be some just basic photos that I have on my computer that is going to run in the background, just so there is a visual element. So yeah, that explains basically everything that I intend to do with these segments of NiagaraStuff brain droppings. They're going to be just fast little droppings from my brain. So I hope you enjoy it. But I will be looking for, going back to what I had started saying, was looking for some sponsors down the road. Nothing major, but just to get some more exposure to small businesses, and like I said, the up and coming, just starting, grand opening type businesses. If I can get some eyeballs and ears listening to them, then that can help their enterprise, which I guess that's the whole intention of the NiagaraStuff podcast. So there'll be audio and visual, and who knows, it's just going to evolve. So stick with me. I appreciate your patience while I try to explain this big wad of gunk that I'm trying to shape and turn into something, and it should be interesting. I do want to talk about today, one of the bigger things that's getting hits on the social media that I've been doing is steak and cheese sub reports. Not really. I'm not really critiquing them too much, but I'm dropping in on local pizzerias and sub shops and the like, and stopping and having a steak and cheese sub. Why not pizza? I love pizza, and I enjoy talking about pizza because it's just such a nice reward. It's just one of the good things in life, pizza and wings, and so there's people that already do that though. So why try to reinvent that wheel? Dave Portnoy with Barstool Sports, I'm sure you're familiar with him. He does the old on a scale of 1 to 10 with his own type of philosophy about it, which I do think is pretty good, because he doesn't give anybody a 10 unless, I don't know if he has given a 10, like realistically, being serious. I think like goofing around, the ones that I've seen, he may have mentioned that, but he always gives them like a 9.2, or if one's really, really good and it's his favorite, he'll give it a 9.5, because there's always room for improvement, and then that always leaves, there's somebody out there that is a 10. So I like that philosophy when he does the scale of 1 to 10 in his terms. He also adds the element of the owner. If the owners are talking to him and giving a little background, or he likes the space, or he enjoys the atmosphere, that might boost up the a point or two. So he puts those elements into. I like that. It's not just a strict 1 to 10. Also locally, you might know Pizza Review Joe. I I think his last name's Gonzalez off the top of my head, but he does realty. He's a realtor. It seems for an outfit, his own business in Canada, but he comes on to this side. He also works on the U.S. side, and he stops at all the pizzerias, and he kind of does the same thing that Portnoy does. He goes in, takes a tray out, half tray, a pie, and tries a slice out front. So they're similar. They're already doing it. I enjoy watching both of them. I enjoy watching Joe because it's local and you can take his advice and go right out and get it. So the pizza, I would just be tripling up, quadrupling up with that if I were to do pizza reviews because there's a bunch of people doing them. I see. Uh, and wings, I don't know. Wings are kind of the same everywhere you go. Some places might have a little bit better wings, but I didn't want to do that either because it's close to pizza. So I figured steak and cheese subs. Everybody in Western New York is familiar with that. And these aren't the Philly cheesesteaks. After I go to one of the places and talk about the sub, someone always chimes in, "That's not a Philly cheesesteak. Philly cheesesteaks are made with actual." Well, I don't care what they're made. I'm not doing a Philly cheesesteak. We're doing steak and cheese subs in Western New York. Lettuce, tomato, onion, oil, mayo. That's the standard. Some people just get oil. Some people just get mayo. Some people might like it dry. Some people don't like tomato. However you order it, I don't care. The way that I'm going to order, my standard order is a large steak and cheese sub, lettuce, tomato, onion, oil, and mayo. That's all I say. So if someone brings it out and they have some special touch or a way that they make it that's different, I welcome it. Go ahead. I'm not being super picky. I think I've done 5 or 6 of them so far uh, since December, which is kind of tough because I don't always crave a steak and cheese sub. One thing I'm going to start doing is getting a small because I always end up bringing the other half home. So right at the restaurant, I might just start ordering a small. But that's been fun. Steak and cheese subs. I didn't know that many people had so many opinions, and that it's another subcategory of food that people are pretty have strong opinions about. So if you go on to the NiagaraStuff podcast social media or NiagaraStuff social media, you'll see once every week or every couple of weeks I'm going to try one. The comments are hilarious in some cases. The things that people pick on or bring up is pretty funny. So I'm learning some stuff too because I'm trying not to torpedo anybody's business. I did go into one place that was just not good, and I didn't leave a very big description of the taste or what was going on. I kind of just described the place and moved on. I'm not going to butcher anybody. I'm not into that. If something is terrible, I may even give them another shot. Everybody has a bad day, so even the one that I just kind of grimace thinking about, maybe at the end I'll go back, come around again, and give them another shot because I don't want to disparage anybody in their business. So I'm going to try to, keep that at a low. Unless something pisses me off or someone's an asshole to me, then they might get it back. But it's pretty funny because I go in just in my spare time when I'm grocery shopping or something and passing a place. One that comes to mind is Old Greenwalls on Cougar Drive. I was driving by and I saw the open sign and I thought to myself, holy shit, this place is still open? Wow. When I was a kid, we'd go there. Maybe I knew it was open, but it's not a place I consider going. So I actually went in, sat down in their little dining room and ordered a sub on my way to poker one night. Well, we sometimes play poker on Friday nights. I was way early to get to the poker game, so I was driving past Greenwalls and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna stop. And it was pretty funny. It was a great sub, little light on the meat. It wasn't a heavy sub, and everybody made comments about the look of it, but it was a really good sub. So that was a good one. Just driving by, and that's kind of what started it. And then the comments that people make are just golden because they can go back to their childhood when they stopped in there for pizza one day and make some type of comment or retell a story. Because that building has been there for a while, for decades. So that's also pretty cool too, is getting the history of the place. So that's one thing I'm doing with the NiagaraStuff social media page, is just going to continue throughout the year, whenever I'm somewhere and getting a sub, I'm gonna do my sub quest. Still haven't quite figured out the name of it, but I plan on doing it once a week or once every couple weeks, um, in place of doing a pizza order or a pizza review, just because that's been done. So that's the reason behind the steak and cheese. So if you know of a place, please let me know. I get a lot of comments about Vinny's Minis on Niagara Street, um, their pizza and their subs. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out. The one I recently did was Jocko's, and that was a bomb ass sub. That was a good sub. Wait till you see the pictures of that one. So far, that might be the winner as far as the most outstanding sub I've tried so far. But I got a long way to go, and I'm not really ranking them on 1 to 10, or any type of star or anything like that, because who am I? I mean, it's my personal opinion. I'll do my best to relay the thoughts and the photos, let the photos do the talking for you, and hopefully bring up some business for some of these places. I know I did Stinkings, which is on Buffalo Ave, River Road, right near the boat docks. It used to be Colosso Taco recently, was also Goombas and Rockin' Jocks, and when I was a kid, I think it might have been Weekends or Yesterdays. I'm not quite sure, but that building now is Stinkings. So I went in there on a snow day. We had off of work because of snow. I work at a school, so it was closed for a snow day. Went in there for lunch, and they had also had a bomber steak and cheese sub, which was awesome. But they had contacted me afterwards and said that people had read the review, saw the post, and the next couple days they were selling a ton of steak and cheese subs, and they think that has to do with the post on NiagaraStuff. So that was pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see that grow. So this is kind of just the introduction to the brain dropping segment of the NiagaraStuff podcast. Like I said, the background of this particular one is just some buildings. If you have any questions about something that you see, I'll do my best to give you the description or what building that is. But really, it's just something that is to keep your eyes busy while you're listening, if you are into the visual aspect of a podcast. But if you're just taking a walk out in the woods or on the walking trail, or you're, like I say, if you're baking a cake at home, just listening, then that's what these brain droppings are for, and just a way for me to express myself. So I know I'm talking in circles, but to sit and talk to yourself into a microphone is pretty tough, and I'm trying to remember my segues and what I was even saying when I started. So I promise to do better. I look forward to doing better, and I'll try again tomorrow with all that. If you have any comments or anything, any helpful tips or tricks, please send me an email at NiagaraStuff9@gmail.com. That is that's the email address for the Niagara Stuff podcast, NiagaraStuff9@gmail.com. So get a hold of me. Other than that, stay warm and dry. We still have a month or two of this shit, freezing ass cold weather. Snow days and that frost that we've had for the past 3-4 weeks was pretty awesome, I think. But, starting to get old. But we still got some time left. So enjoy the rest of February. By the time I do another one of these, it'll probably be at the end of the month. And tell me what you think. If there's something that you enjoy that you want to see more of or hear more of, like I said, just let your boy Stens know. Thank you very much. Peace.